Breaking.
Marketing Edge on TV is Nigeria's leading initiative in the business of brand management and in the management of brand business. It is a 30-minute awesome package that comprises brand news, branding focus, industry conversation, all in a mix, encompassing thorough and in-depth analysis aimed at promoting the brand idea. I am Bababumi Agbibi. Welcome to the program.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
We begin with brand news, where we bring you the latest developments around brands and in the field of marketing and advertising in Nigeria and around the world. A latest market analysis carried out by IMAC Group has shown that the live streaming market is surging, projected to hit $605 billion by 2033. This surge, it disclosed, is driven by faster internet, mobile access, and social media. The sector is seeing rapid growth in entertainment, education, and government use. The data specifically indicated that Asia Pacific is leading the charge, with major tech companies battling for market share. TVC Communications has been selected as the official broadcast partner for the 2025 Picture Festival of Creativity, solidifying its position as a leading African media powerhouse. This partnership highlights TVC's commitment to showcasing African creativity globally through its extensive network, including TVC News. The collaboration will bring exclusive coverage of key festival events to viewers across the continent and beyond. TVC's state-of-the-art facilities and dedication to quality content were key factors in the festival's decision. This move aims to inspire future generations of African creatives and further elevates the continent's creative industry. MTN and Airtel Africa are sharing network infrastructure in Uganda and Nigeria. This aims to expand digital access, especially in rural areas. The partnership seeks to improve efficiency and service quality. They plan similar deals in other African nations. Both companies will remain independent competitors. This move is to broaden digital inclusion across the continent. Next is branding focus after this break.
Every Nigerian mom knows everything is so expensive. Every naira needs to work harder. That's why I always go back to So Clean.
New So Clean with Snow Powder Tech. The powder is finer,
so it dissolves easier, foams faster, and cleans better.
Every grain works for you. Nothing's wasted.
New So Clean detergent with Snow Powder Tech. Every grain works for you.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Now brand in focus. Nigerian television commercials are shedding outdated stereotypes and embracing a more diverse, inclusive representation of society. Gone are the days when ads strictly portrayed men as providers and women as caregivers. Today, brands are spotlighting women in leadership, technology, and entrepreneurship, challenging traditional gender roles. Beyond gender representation, beauty standards in advertising have also evolved. More commercials now feature dark-skinned models, natural hair, and traditional attire, moving away from past preferences for westernized ideals. Modern ads also prioritize real-life stories over scripted perfection, using relatable narratives to connect with audiences. This shift is not just about selling products, but reshaping cultural norms, ensuring brands resonate with evolving aspirations of Nigerians. That was branding focus. Next is industry conversation, where we discuss with industry thought leaders who have distinguished themselves and have made tremendous impact in their chosen field. My guest today is OMOTOLA BAMIGBAIYE, Chair, Brand Advisory Board, Meristem, Nigeria. Join us after this break.
Every Nigerian mum knows everything is so expensive. Every naira needs to work harder. That's why I always go back to So Clean.
New So Clean with Snow Powder Tech. The powder is finer.
So it dissolves easier, foams faster, and cleans better.
Every grain works for you. Nothing's wasted.
New So Clean detergent with Snow Powder Tech. Every grain works for you.
Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the bright idea.
On Industry Conversation, we have the Chair, Brand Advisory Board, Meristem Nigeria, and author, Imperfectly Awesome, OMOTOLA BAMIGBAIYE. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you. What's your assessment of the integrated marketing communication space, and what do you think are the key drivers of this sector?
I think the integrated marketing space itself has come to stay, you know. Before now, we would do programs which are individual or independent of each other. But, you know, as marketing grows and as people get exposed to a couple of initiatives and growth phases, we realize that there's so much we can accomplish just by ensuring that things or activities are synced. Hence, the integrated marketing concept itself, which is the ability to be able to deploy same communication across different platforms, which will make the consumer to get a better feel, better effect of what we're trying to say. Single-minded communication across all platforms. Hence, there will be no need anymore to do individual or independent campaigns. But when you're able to sync it, the consumer gets a better feel, gets an holistic view. It's a fuller experience to the consumer itself. And you know, because in today's world, we're on our phones, on our laptops, in store, everywhere we go, there's some bit of communication happening. So that in itself is enabling the consumer to have a better view of the experience that we expect the consumer to get. And when we talk about what has changed over the last couple of years, technology itself, I mean, we can't even take it away. You know, it's one enabler that has changed the landscape of almost everything around us. You know, people are exposed to a lot more information. We're more, you can assess the consumer. You are more accessible. The consumer can assess you. You can assess the consumer. So that one big change is one of the things that has enabled IMC. And if you also look at communicating through the line, we used to have above the line, we had below the line, and now it's through the line because the consumer is looking for an omni experience, you know. So right now, the digital space is kind of blurred that a little bit, and the same consumer who is in store can also at the same time be on the phone. So you're literally physically in the store, but you're also on your phone with the store, and you can experience the product same way. So I think IMC has grown, and it's a big shift. It's a big shift because it's become a major strategy driver. In fact, when you are building your strategy these days, you're asking, are we sure we're on all the relevant platforms that we ought to be? Have we deployed our campaign to all the relevant platforms we need to be? What kind of feel or overview does the consumer have of us? Where are we speaking to the consumer? Are we speaking to the consumer where the consumer wants to be spoken to? You know, all of I don't even think any marketer today can build a whole campaign without taking it through the IMC route. It will be, I don't think that will happen anymore.
Okay, so what are the challenges that the IMC sector is presently facing, and how do you think we can mitigate these challenges?
One of the major challenges which we always like to refer it to, the first one which everybody thinks about is cost. So the budget that I have, how can I optimize it to get the best out of it? So that challenge will always be there because, I mean, we definitely can never, ever have enough money to do it all. Yeah? We've got to be choiceful. We've got to deploy and scale big. You know, it must be things that are scalable, that is repeatable and sustainable at the same time. So I'll say sustainability is key. How the virality of the content also that you're creating, or how far can it go, the communication itself, how far can it go? So the cost issue is there. how do I optimize the budget that I have to go far? And then, of course, how scalable is the communication? In how many places can it get into? All of those are challenges which we experience every day. And as we continue to overcome them, we take learnings from people who have done. We take learnings from brands, from campaigns that have happened. How did they do it? What were the gaps? And then, of course, everybody learns from those insights. We'll become better at the deployment.
What roles do you think FMCG, or your perspective on the roles of e-commerce in the FMCG sector in Nigeria?
So e-commerce itself is gaining ground. It's new to us. And as the digital penetration improves, e-commerce will continue to improve, because you cannot, everybody's now on the phone. Yeah, if we are deploying any activity, any campaign, I must first be able to view on my phone, because we're all on our phones. So the shopping experience has become easier with e-commerce itself. And you know, the fact that I can order something, I don't have to be physically there. And then when you talk about the changes that has happened, is the fact that there's even a lot more information on e-commerce. Today you can scan, you can have 3D images, you can, as basic as clothes today, you can practically visualize how it will look on you based on your shape, etc. Before, you had to physically go to the store, go to the changing room, try it out. If it fits, it doesn't fit. E-commerce is solving quite a lot of problems today. So I'll say one is bridging the gap. The customer journey is shortening, because you can literally order and it will come to you. You don't need to go to the physical store anymore. And then also, it's giving you an opportunity to get the product faster than you would ordinarily have gotten it. So I would say it's improving the journey, it's improving availability, and also the distribution space is one more leg of distribution which we're all optimizing at the time.
Where do you see the future of data-driven marketing, the evolution of it? Where do you see it? And how can it be incorporated with proprietary consumer analysis?
So the data-driven space itself, I would say marketing is also a science and an art. When we look at the science part, we're looking at all of the information, all of the data that you were talking about is driven from insights. Insights in activations, insights in execution, insights in the deployment, all of the learnings which we're getting, including consumer behavior. They're all insights which we're learning every day. And each one of these points, the data points that we get, are what is fueling the base, the database that we're all looking at to learn from. So what is the role of insights? Is the fact that we're able to make this fact-based, first we have fact-based conversations which enable us to make data-driven activities, because now we are capable or have the capacity to make a better judgment of the activities that we run, a better judgment of the platforms which we need to go to, even a better judgment of consumer behavior, you know, and we can forecast, we can anticipate where's growth going to come from. All of that are based on the data that we have. So that data not only affects marketing, but also affects the entire organization, because we're able to plan. If my product is affected by seasonality, then also my supply chain is getting set to, you know, take advantage of the seasonality. More raw material is going to be procured at the time, and then we can also manage our inventory. So data actually, or the availability of insights, enables us to become better brand managers, strategically helps us, and the effect is not only felt within the marketing space, but you can literally feel the flow go through the entire organization itself.
Okay, so where do you see the future of marketing, advertising, and communications in Nigeria?
I will say that we are more pivotal in the things that we're doing today, because we've been enabled.
So this is an
data has
improvement.
enabled us. Absolutely. Data has enabled us to become better. So the improvement I see is the fact that we are becoming better judgment. We can make better judgments of who our consumers are. We can make a better judgment of the platforms in which we need to be executing. We can make a better analysis or judgment of where my consumer really is and how to reach my consumer. So it's going to be better, and it's going to keep getting better.
How would you describe the power of sustainability in FMCG, and how is it helping companies to reduce environmental footprints?
It's the way to go in today's world, because emotions are what drives consumers that we have today. Brands that have sustainability plans, brands that have emotions laden into the product, brands that make the consumer feel that they're contributing more to the society and doing good for the good of all. You get a better feel or better brand love from consumers when all of your processes, your activities depict that you are creating something for the good of all. If I'm buying something from you and I know that for every time that I buy, there's a greater good or greater advantage that the whole community can benefit from, then I feel that I'm also contributing my little quota into the development of or sustainability of my environment.
You launched your book, Imperfectly Awesome, not too long ago. How would you describe the reception of the book?
I would say it has been great. I'm particularly enthused every time we talk about it. Why? Because I believe that the art of storytelling in itself is something to be studied. And having done marketing over the course of the years, the ability to be able to tell my story in such a convincing way, and people buying the book, giving me feedback, tells me that I've done a good job, and I'm super proud of myself.
So what was the engineering force in writing that book? Why did you decide to put pen to paper?
My number one driving force of putting pen to paper is first my mom. And I tell the story quite a couple of times. My mom resigned from work when she gave birth to me. And, you know, I was literally homeschooled for a while. And during that time, you know, I kind of figured that she would have wanted to live another life, you know. She was in the office. My mom literally used to back me to work. Like, I was always strapped to her back going to work. But she couldn't go far. And that level and length that she couldn't get to, she ensured that I got to. That much level of support I needed to become who I am today, my mom ensured that I got that support. And every time she looked at me, she tells me, no, you will get to where I didn't get to. You know, I don't want you leaving the office because you couldn't. There were days when you needed to be off work because of childbirth, school children, all of that. Said, no, we'll give you as much support as you need, because I want to. She literally sees herself in me, and I want to make sure that I'm able to live that life for her, of ensuring that all the effort and the labor didn't go to waste. So first, I wanted to say thank you for all the effort that she put in. Second, I wanted other people to realize that tenacity and the ability, living in your authentic self pays off eventually, you know. When you are authentic to yourself and you are able to live within your authenticity, then you are able to live far. People begin to recognize you for who you are, believe in your capability and ability, which is what I've literally put in the book.
Okay, for readers of Imperfectly Awesome, now what will bring fulfillment to you when they read the book, they drop the book? What feeling do you want them to have that you would be fulfilled that, yes, this book got to the main people?
A dose of inspiration is what I would say. And it will gladden my heart for someone to say, oh, I read your book and I got inspired. You know, there will always be a space for you, is what the main message in the book. Once you realize your authenticity, there will always be a space for you. You only need to find out where you can thrive and go ahead and do your best wherever it is.
Okay, so I've heard that OMOTOLA...
Believe in yourself.
Okay, so I've heard that OMOTOLA was born, she was homeschooled. But then, tell me more about OMOTOLA. I want to know what OMOTOLA is. Aside being the author and being the chair and then being homeschooled, I want to know more about OMOTOLA.
I think the only other thing you haven't known, you don't know, or you must have realized by now, is OMOTOLA is a stutterer. And, you know, being a stutterer and being and having to lecture, they are two different things. It takes a lot of willpower. It takes a lot of energy. You know, you are literally having fun. It's a lot of energy for me.
But then you're doing well.
So they say. But it's taking a lot of energy. I'm literally speaking from the pit of my stomach, because it needs energy, you know, holding forth and all of that. So it's a lot of energy. So what would I say? So OMOTOLA is a career. Well, I like to describe myself as someone who wants to empower other people to get the best out of life. Yeah. Life will throw curveballs, but you can decide to dance to the tunes however else you please, but at your pace and at your time. There's no competition with anybody. Stay in your lane is what I always like to tell people, and be authentic. You know, the power of resilience is inside of you. We all have it. We only need to bring it to fore and exhibit it.
What has been your experience in the FMCG sector? How would you describe the experience all through? In my experience with the FMCG sector, let's take learnings, 3 learnings only. Okay. 1, agility pays off, speed pays off, you know, and I've learned that a couple of times working over a couple of campaigns. Speed over a perfection always pays off. The second thing I've learned is the fact that the more consumer-centric you are, the better results you get from the activities that you deploy. Because if you put the consumer at the heart of everything that you do, then you realize that the ability to convince a consumer to believe in what you believe in becomes easier. Yeah, because you're consumer centric. And the third thing I've learned is to be nimble. Be nimble. The details are in the numbers. Don't run away from it. The details are in the numbers. The more data-driven, fact-based conversations you're having, the better the results that you will get. Oh, great. These days, for hard workers and smart workers, 24 hours, they will say, is not enough. So how do you balance family and work and then still be a very high flyer?
Choices have to be made. So someone tells me, I was having a conversation with someone one day, and the person said, oh, work-life balance, you can achieve it all. Yes, you can. But at some point in time, it might be 60-30, 60-40, it's still 100. 70-30, it's still 100. 50-50, I'm not sure. But even 80-20 is still 100. Yeah? So at every point in time, you have to decide which is more important. And at the end of the day, some things will have to take the back seat, while other things take, you know, the front. But in all, realizing what is important at the point in time and what should take priority is how you achieve that balance. Nobody has it all. There are sacrifices that need to be made. Nobody has it all. Family, work-life balance, even to your own personal self. Some sacrifices have to be made, but it's about the ability to juggle all the balls in the ratio that is the best at the time.
How do you define your personal brand, and what values guide this personal branding?
3 values guide my personal brand. The first will always be integrity. And there's a popular quote which everybody by now knows me by. If you don't say I am, nobody will say thou art. So who are you? I am OMOTOLA BAMIGBAIYE. I am a creative person. I'm inspired by the activities and actions of people around me. I like to ensure that people everybody who meets me must be able to take something away from me. So I put myself in a situation where I must inspire you. You must be motivated by me, and you must learn something from me. I'm a lifelong learner myself. And if you look across all the brands I've worked on, or all the organizations I've worked on, I've literally learned along the line. You know, the marketing space was not one I started with. I had first done about 10, 12 years in the financial services sector, then came to FMCG and started from the very scratch. And who did I learn from? The colleagues who worked with me. They literally showed me the way. So be authentic, realize where your strengths are, be able to learn from people around you, and you'll be great.
So what legacy do you want to leave behind through your work or generally?
I think if people were to talk about me today, 3 things will come through. The ability to be resilient, tenacity, and authenticity. I know where my strengths are. I own it. and I'm able to, I keep at it. In fact, one of the feedbacks I always get is the fact that once you need something done, tell OMOTOLA about it. She'll make sure it's done. I pride myself in the fact that I live up to that expectation.
So you get job done quick and fast.
I try my very best.
I like that. So what's next for you? Writing or other projects? What are you looking forward to do? What are you going to surprise us with? So it's not going to be a surprise if you say it now, but then what are you looking forward to?
One of the things I'm looking forward to doing is to getting into the advocacy space. Yeah? You know, a lot of times we are all flawed, but require a little bit more help than what we always try to admit. So a bit of advocacy and lending my voice in the space of authenticity is what I want to look into right now. And it's becoming a voice. I want to lend my voice into that space as well.
Very nice. Thank you for having this conversation with us. It's been an interesting conversation. I've been speaking with the Chair, Brand Advisory Board of Meristem, Nigeria, and author, Imperfectly Awesome, OMOTOLA BAMIGBAIYE. Thank you.
Thank you too.
That's all we can take today. I am Bababumi Agbibi.